Howdy.
What's the process been like for you since EB's been gone and the extra duties that have picked up?
Yeah, we've just stepped up. We miss EB, obviously, but in the meantime, everybody, Coach Heck has taken on more roles with the run game and the offensive line. All the position coaches have stepped up. There's just a little bit more administrative stuff to handle, but we've been doing this a long time. We all kind of know what's expected, and we've just been rolling from there.
Have you had a chance to talk to EB about life and football and everything?
Yeah, we talk. He keeps in touch. It was great to hear from him, just because, just on a personal standpoint, you were just so devastated for him, and so gave him some time. And he's been reaching out more and more lately with some of the football stuff. So that's kind of brought a little bit of sense of normalcy back to our routine, just hearing him and his thoughts on the football.
The other one on that kind of coaching side, players all the time, when they're not in, they're taking mental reps. Are you like a mental rep for OC guy, or when you just focused on when you were doing your other job? What's that like?
I wish I could say that I was preparing like that. Usually there was just so much going on in each of my past individual roles that it was all I could do to stay afloat with that. In the meantime, stepping up here, I know what's expected and how we operate. The great thing with Coach Reed leading the show on offense and the assistant coaches we have, especially even with our veteran players, we miss EB, but we don't have a leadership void. Everybody kind of understands what the standard is, and as far as the offensive coordinator calling in the plays and just making sure some of the administrative stuff is handled, that's been the biggest thing. Other than that, everybody has just kind of continued on the standard that EB set.
We're a week in here with Patrick out here doing all the things he's supposed to be doing. What have you seen from him? Anything surprise you?
You hate anything that Patrick does to say it surprises you, because he's always pushing the limits of physically what he can do with the football and just the recovery timetable from the injuries that he's had. But still, I haven't seen anything with the knee out there on the field that would lend itself to show any sort of hangover or any sort of setbacks from the season. So I hate to say I'm surprised by that, but it's just non-existent, any sort of knee issues, which has been incredible.
What did you see from, I know Cyrus isn't out here right now, it's been a few days, but what did you see from him in the early on last year?
Yeah, early on, he grasped the playbook and what we were asking him to do. So that was the first part, the mental. And he has a natural feel for kind of space out there after the snap. So sometimes with young guys, when they're learning the offense, where to line up, all the details of just getting out of the huddle, some of that, once the ball is snapped, natural ability gets shoved down a little bit. You can still see he was playing with that natural ability. So he's got great physical traits. They were showing up after the snap. His mental stuff was good pre-snap, so you can build on that. And that's exciting.
What do you see from him since you guys got there?
Yeah, he's going to be tough to tackle. He brings another element to the offense. I think it's clear some of our screens so far this camp, a lot of our runs, and then the play actions after that, all that kind of ties in together. So him with the O-line, and then how that opens up the rest of the field. It's a credit to him. He's been tremendous.
Working on short yardage today. From what you can share, maybe how will it be different in a good way this year?
Yeah, we did short yardage and goal line full pads, so we were able to and do it live with some tackling period. I don't know if it would be different. We're trying to emphasize the strengths of the guys that we have. So we have some new personnel, so we'll emphasize their strengths, and just with the guys that we have returning, continue on with what we built and try to throw a curveball to the defense.
And then I'm just curious what you've seen from Fields and then Garrett behind Patrick.
Yeah, I've been impressed mentally with those guys and their command of the offense as well. You can tell Justin's a veteran in the league. Everything comes natural to him in terms of calling the play and running the huddle. And then out there physically, he's very gifted. So I've been impressed with Justin. And then Nuss, as a rookie, continuing to learn and grow. He's soaking in everything the vets are telling him, and he's playing fast. And so with all the information that he's getting, similar to what we talked about with Cyrus, just all the overload, if once the ball is snapped, they can just continue to play the game they've always played and play fast, that's something you can build on.
We're going to go last four. We'll start with Bonhe and work across.
Joe, what do you feel like you're trying to most establish this camp offensively? And I wonder if there's a maybe a little wrinkle in the identity that you anticipate?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing this camp, and this is one of the reasons we miss EB, but he did a great job this spring of just establishing the standard of what's acceptable and what we're going to stand for and how we're going to operate as a unit. So less so maybe schematically or philosophically what we're going to do on the field. It's been a mindset and a standard, and just bringing everybody together and holding them to that standard what I'd say is the biggest focus.
And for you personally, in the role you're in now, do you feel like you have some call to demand that more yourself too? I mean, how's that playing out for you?
Yeah, definitely a different style than EB. Yeah. Although I lost my voice here already, so some of him is worn off on me. But yeah, everyone has a different style. I think the guys want to be held accountable, and they want someone to just constantly remind them, not let anything slide, and just say, here's what we're going to do. And when you have 100 plays, the tendency can be to point out the stuff that's egregious and then to let the little stuff slide play after play so that it doesn't appear for 100 plays you're just constantly nitpicking. But that's the role of the coordinator. That's the role of whoever's in that position, is to just continually uphold the standard. And so that's what we've been able to do as a staff, each of the position coaches, and then with EB gone, I've been trying to do that. I thought about having everything run smoothly while he was gone and how he would take that. And the funny thing was, he would not want anything to be smooth here. He would want this to be a challenging camp, the coaches to be challenging the guys, and for us to be getting better. And so that little voice in the back of your head, as you guys can imagine from EB out here, has been good motivation.
Year 14 with Travis, maybe what have you seen out of him at this camp, and how's he looking from a coach's eye?
Yeah, young Trav has embraced the standard. You know, he's kind of helped built it. He's established the standard throughout his years here, and then he's seen just various iterations of the team, and his leadership into just even admitting when he's fallen short of the standard and saying he can be better, and then bringing guys along has been awesome to see. It's veteran Trav. He knows what's expected, and he's embraced that role to bring everybody up with him.
Last two, maintenance stand.
Joe, you guys have had Patrick under center and then rolling to the left and the right quite a bit. How much of this camp is about gaining trust with him and his movements, if you guys were able to show that early on in the season?
Yeah, I think that's a good observation, and I would rephrase it a little bit as in, we're not going to put any limitations on what Patrick can do. So rather than maybe emphasizing what we're going to try to do more, we're really trying to eliminate holding him back, or saying let's not put him in this certain situation where everything's open from under center to rolling left to going right, the whole playbook, and really just trying to emphasize that this is normal and this is what we do. We're out there. He's got no limitations. So, but that is true.
Does your heart do a little something when he starts to be creative with his legs?
Yeah, I mean, you can, but that's him. He plays the game. I mean, as you guys know, he plays the game with his style, and you never want to take that away from him. So, but yes, that to your point.
So, how much of an emphasis when you look at the offseason was trying to get the running backs more involved in the passing game and recognizing that maybe the personnel shift they might have?
Yeah, you look at specifically our running backs and their skill sets, and they're tough to tackle in space. And so handing them the ball off or tossing them the ball is one way to get them out in space, and then throwing them the ball is a similar way. So it falls into the category of just trying to utilize the guys that we have on the roster to the best of their abilities, and knowing that sometimes if everything is covered down the field and we got a running back one-on-one in space, that's going to be a great matchup for us. So yeah, it falls into that category of, we have these guys' a skill set, let's utilize them, and one of the ways to do that is by throwing them the ball more.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
You're in a little different situation now than you were a year ago at this time. How does this camp feel compared to last year?
Yeah, for sure. You know, last year it was about making the squad, trying to do everything I could to make the team. You know, this year I was talking to my brother and I was like, this training camp compared to last, everything's slowed down, you know, starting to know the playbook, picking it up well, you know, out here competing with everyone. So I'm just excited for the opportunity that's at hand.
Once the pads come on and everything, how does it ratchet things up for you?
Yeah, you know, the physicality turns up, you know, both sides of the ball, we're competing, hitting, having fun, you know. Football's a physical sport, so if you can't bring that, then it's not really football, in my opinion.
Example of something that's maybe easier to grasp this year than maybe last year at this time?
You know, just different concepts in our defense that may have, you know, kind of bunched them together last year, maybe not understand it, but this year kind of putting certain calls in different buckets, as we say, so, and doing it that way. Yeah, I actually sit next to him in meetings, and we'll be watching film and stuff, and anytime I got questions, I just go straight to Nick right next to me, and he always has an answer for me, always coaching me up, so Nick's been great for me.
You saw a lot of snaps on special teams last year. How much are you looking forward to maybe having more of an impact on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, you know, last year that was my job as a special teams guy, and I had a lot of fun with it. This year, competing for a spot right now, so you know, competition raises level of play in our room, and I think that's just going to only make us better. So I'm excited for the opportunity, but you know, I got to go earn it first off.
Leo carved out a pretty specific role for himself and kind of a niche, and obviously filled it really well. How do you see yourself, you know, trying to take his place, just being a different player?
Yeah, Leo was great. You know, I learned a lot from Leo. I miss that guy especially. He was awesome. You know, I was actually doing some film study over him this offseason, trying to take little bits and pieces of his game and apply it to my game. You know, he was an elite player who did a lot for us, and I'm trying to do the same as well.
Nate,
Cooper, can you explain a year ago how nervous and what the experience was like to be in an NFL preseason game, competing for a spot, and how that experience might be different this time around?
Yeah, I mean, last year, I was telling my parents, I really didn't feel any pressure to come in here. Like, I didn't feel any pressure at all, and I think that's what really helped me out last year. And you know, now coming into this year, there's a little more pressure, a little more responsibility on my part. You know, competing for a starting job right now. So, you know, as we go through training camp, one of the hardest training camps there is in the NFL. I really take pride in what I do, and you know, always running after the ball, doing a lot of extra things for us. So.
I wonder if you could give us a little scouting report on Kenneth Walker and maybe what he brings that maybe wasn't in the running back room last year.
Yeah, Kenneth, he's an elite running back. You know, he can run the ball, obviously, as you guys saw today. Elite pass catcher, elite route runner. He's an elite running back, one of the best in the NFL. So.
Good.
Thanks, man. Yep. Thank you, guys.
Fire away for 10, guys.
How'd it feel to be out there with pads on, going through more traditional football practice?
It felt great, you know. We've been out here with no pads, and you don't know if it's a tackle or not. But it's good to have pads on. Finally, you get the thud and, you know, get that football feel back.
Kind of last year you faced off against Khyiris Tonga in the Super Bowl. I'm curious if you guys have had any friendly banter about that game since then, and just what's it like being on the same team this year?
Yeah, it's great being on the same team as him. You know, he's got a great personality. I was just talking to him just then, but yeah, when we finally met, and we was talking about like the Super Bowl and the plays and everything and each team. But yeah, it's great to have him on the team, and I'm ready to be able to ball on this side.
Is he glad he doesn't have to try and tackle you now?
Yeah, I mean, he got to try and practice. So, but he's been doing a great job.
Hey Ken, when we got Emmett here, when we asked him about you, he said you're someone who cares about the group.
Yeah.
What do you think he meant by that? What example would you give?
Yeah, honestly, you know, just bringing guys with me. You know, I've been here longer than them in the league, you know, so I don't want them to make the same mistakes that I made when I was just getting to the league, if that makes sense. You know, so I want them to learn quicker than I learn, and, you know, I don't want it to be a drop-off at all. So, you know, making sure those guys are good, which is they've been doing great. Everybody in the room has been doing great. And, yeah, I just want to make sure we all on the same accord.
Do you have an example of not making the same mistakes or advice you can give?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely. Like, even off the field, just diet and, I mean, obviously he probably got a great diet, but diet and routine, all types of stuff that I didn't do early on in my career, I want them to do it before, you know. I feel like the earlier they do it, the better they'll be, leading up to, year 4 and year 5 and stuff like that.
Kenneth, a couple times at camp we've seen you're comfortable turning the field around. I guess what gives you the confidence that you're able to do that and not lose yardage in the game?
Yeah, that's just how I've been playing since I was a kid. Just learning from my pops and watching backs in the league. Honestly, just learning from my pops though. If he says too many people over here, go the other way. And I feel like it still works to this day. I don't want to run into a crowd if I can go somewhere in open field. So.
That takes tremendous vision. I guess, what point of your career did you realize, okay, I'm comfortable enough to do so?
Yeah, like I said, growing up, I've been doing it since I was younger. So, just getting better at it as I go, high school, college, and then to the pros.
Kenneth, you guys did some short yardage stuff today. Obviously, Zach had a lot of that in Seattle last year. What's your eagerness to be involved in?
Yeah, honestly, like I always say, any way I can make a positive impact on the team, I'm going to do it. So, short yardage, passing, blocking, anything, I want to go out there and do it.
A couple more, we'll start with Blair.
Okay, what have you enjoyed about Coach Bieniemy's coaching, and when he returns, will continue for you?
Yeah, first off, prayers to his family, just take his time, and, when he gets back, until then, we'll hold it down, and when he gets back, we ready to have that intensity and that energy. That's what I love most about him, and how detailed he was with everything, like passing, blocking, running. You can't take a play off because he's going to say something to you about it. So, you just got to be on point with Coach EB.
Go Nate, and then Todd closes out.
Ken, I'm sure you're learning about Khalil business just like we are. Is there anything that has stood out to you about how he's done so well this far into camp as an undrafted rookie?
Yeah, definitely. He's done great. We got pads on now, and you get to see how well he's doing out there, and he's going to have a great impact on his team. And just like our other O-line, they've been doing great as well. So it's been great to be able to run behind those guys and, actually like ask them questions about pass pro and everything else. They really helpful in that aspect as well.
Last one, Todd.
A couple quick things. Has EB been texting you, calling you since he's been away?
Oh, no, we got to talk to him on Zoom. He's been in some of the meetings, and, anything, he's still watching. So he'll be watching, anything we mess up on, he'll critique it and everything and make sure we still on point with everything. But yeah, I sent him a text out, and yeah, we still in contact.
Damian Williams, former Chief, has been here. What have you learned from him? What's he been like to be around?
It's been cool because he went through everything. He went through the camps, the seasons. He was in the Super Bowl. So it's been cool to have him around and, tell him what I see and how he sees things as well. So I'm glad we got him here.
Thanks, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it.
Khyiris, you obviously got to face Kenneth in the Super Bowl. I was just asking him. What have you guys had friendly banter about that game, and are you glad to be on the same side of things this year?
Yeah, so no, he a good dude. He don't bring it up, but it was it's every time we watch these like videos of him, it's always in the Super Bowl, and just I gotta look away sometimes. But no, I'm so glad we're on the same side now, and in practice he definitely makes us work on the defensive side, just being honest in everything that we do. So having someone like K9 on our squad, man, it's so fun. It's definitely going to be fun this season.
Now that we're into the pads, being next to Chris, anything you notice about what the potential could be of you guys working in tandem together?
Man, he's a dog. Years of proving it, and just being able to play next to him and learn from him and see how he plays and run and pass rushes. It's just little things I try to pick up from him. And being with Chris, plays is going to come. And if he misses, we got to be there to make plays. But just being next to him, man, it just elevates all of us to just be better in our roles and doing what we got to do to make sure we all in the same spot.
Is there anybody that you felt like you played with before in your career similar to Chris, or is this a new experience right now?
No, I play with some dogs on the D-line. And, they all different in their own way, but dominant. And I've been blessed to be able to be on a couple D linemen with some dominant D lines. And but Chris, he's definitely up there with one of them ones, man. And I'm excited to be able to be with him in the same room and learn from him.
What stands out about Peter Woods so far?
Man, P. Woods is a little pit bull, man. He nasty. He got something to him, and he got a chip on his shoulder. Eager to learn. Yeah, just a sponge, man. Just taking everything in and just learning and growing. And it's cool to see that, and really all the rookies too. 'Cause we got a good group of rookies coming in. So.
Kind of from a technical standpoint, what do you see from Peter, just from technique-wise?
Yeah, he a D lineman. He could play the run. He could do the pass. Technique stuff, obviously learning it's different in college, so speed of the game. But he there. I mean, y'all watch him during practice and the things he be flashing. So just for him to just continue to learn and to grow, it's gonna be sky's the limit for P. Woods, man.
You guys have had the pads on the last couple of days. Competition ratcheting up a little bit. What are your thoughts about the Chiefs' interior offensive line? How's that competition been?
They the real deal. Having the three up front, man, really the old line, but going against Creed and Trey and all them boys, man, is iron on iron, man. Just being able to sharpen up and get better with those boys. So it's definitely good work.
We'll go a couple more here.
Going back to Chris, is there anything you've been able to offer him, even though he's got a few years on you?
I don't know. I don't know. Chris is just he's just a leader amongst men, bro. We just follow him and just I don't know if he's learning from us, but I'm sure. But we definitely learning from him, and we learning from from one another. So yeah, it's been good.
Back to the Super Bowl, how much of the game plan was centered on Kenneth, and did you get a tackle on him?
I think I got a tackle on him, but no, we knew they had a good run team, and we knew K9 can do what he can do, and I mean he proved it. Became MVP, and still just catching stride and seeing him run it's been fun.
We'll go last one to Nate.
You now worked with Joe Cullen for a little bit. Anything that he's trying to emphasize for you as to what you guys want to build on here in training camp?
Yeah, just being able to just figure out the role in the defense and how to just excel at that position. If that's playing shade, 2 wide, 3 tech, wherever that may be. I mean, Joe's been able to be good with coaching and being able to help me on technique, and Coach Terry as well, Coach Barry. Yeah, they've all been helping hand in everything, so it's been good.
Thanks, Khyiris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Khyiris.